It was a huge cabinet shuffle, the biggest ever, according to our political commentator Tom Mulcair, with some familiar faces losing their portfolios or changing portfolios, and some new faces stepping into new roles. So the new Quebec face in the cabinet is Montreal MP Soraya Martinez Ferrada from the Hochelaga riding. She is a first-time minister. She takes on the tourism portfolio, and she's also going to be responsible for the Economic Development Agency of Canada for the regions of Quebec. We are joined now by Minister Soraya Martinez Ferrada. Thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
And congratulations. What does this mean to you?
Well, just in terms on the personal level, this is huge for me, for my family. We got here in Canada when I was 8 years old with my mother, single mother, political refugees from the dictatorship in Chile. That actually was brought to Canada by the father of the former, prime minister. Being named by his son, the first Chilean minister, and what I've heard yesterday, I'm the first woman Latino American minister, which is just very, very amazing. I'm very humbled by it, but again, very with a sense of responsibility, which is really awesome.
What do you think that means?
It was a good day yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I bet it was a great day. I'm sure it was very emotional on many levels.
Yes, it was. I was accompanied by my mother and my daughter that actually flew from Calgary to meet me. So it was a very emotional day, and I think like the prime minister would say, "You're named minister for the first time, only one time." So it was very, very a good day.
And that was the day, yeah. So I was thinking about, obviously what this must mean to you personally, but also what it must mean to the community and women and Chilean. Representation is so important. Could I ask you to speak to that, Minister?
Well, I think it's a line of hope and possibilities. It's the incarnation of everyone that comes to Canada. Once a Canadian, you're a Canadian. And you can participate in this country. You can contribute and be a part of what we're doing. And I think I think I can incarnate that. But I hope people see that as a way for themselves to find a way to be a part of this country in whatever means they can, and how they can do it, and the why. It's up to them. But I think it gives us the image that we can do it and that we can be part of this country.
Yeah, that's exactly what I always say. I always say, people, when they see other people doing things that they've dreamed of doing, they believe they can do it too. They think that their dreams can come true.
Yeah.
It's so important. Let's talk a little bit about your particular portfolio. So tourism, this is on a federal level, but of course, being that you're from Montreal and Quebec, will you go into this portfolio with a little bit of, preferential treatment, shall we say, or an eye on how you can improve things in Montreal as well?
Of course, I'm an MP from Montreal. I'm an MP from the East Island. I'm from Quebec, and I have the responsibility for the Economic Development Agency for Quebec, and it's linked to tourism. The province of Quebec, tourism is a very important economic driver, but it is one very important for the rest of the country. And my responsibility is making sure that we are driving this file all across the country, because tourism is an economic driver, and we don't have to forget that. Not only it is an economic driver, but it's also the image of our country. It's what we are proud of. Our lakes, our mountains, our events, our culture, our food culture everywhere in the country, from Niagara Falls to Whistler to the Olympic Stadium to Prince Edward Islands. I think we have treasures in this country that people want to see, and we need to attract them back to this country. And that's what I want to do.
And when I'm saying preferential treatment, obviously I'm joking, but I'm just thinking about, you're also going to be responsible for economic development. So I'm like, if you can get people to eat more poutine or to come to Montreal, I suppose that'll be in the back of your head a little bit.
Well, the economic development portfolio is one that wants to support small and medium SMEs here in Quebec, support them in the transition for the sustainable environment, transition on the digital, being more competitive, being more present. So we're there to support companies. And that is my portfolio within Quebec. I have other colleagues that do Ontario, that do the West, so we're the Canadian Development Agency is divided in regions. So it is important to make sure that we support companies in their needs locally and what they want to do. So I think it's the lens of Quebec in that sense. But the tourist portfolio is it's a national portfolio.
We're speaking with Minister Soraya Martinez Ferrada, who is one of the new faces in the Trudeau cabinet as of the huge cabinet shuffle that happened on Wednesday. I'm thinking about, there's 7 new rookies that have been given cabinet positions, ministerial portfolios. And there's been a little bit of talk that perhaps, Trudeau's trying to reinvent the party and put forth new faces, but also to have less dissent perhaps in the party, so that you just kind of the newbies come on board and just toe the line. Can I ask you to respond to some of those statements that people are making? A cabinet shuffle is a way also to give ministers new perspective on other files and other portfolios, and give them the opportunity to bring their energy, their experience to portfolios that need them in some way. I think bringing new people to the cabinet is a way to bring this newbie energy, but it's not a negative way. It is. I felt the energy and the excitement yesterday of, people wanted to get to work, and people wanted to work together and collaborate, and making sure that we're driving all these files for Canadians all across the country. And that's the energy we felt yesterday. And that's why this cabinet will be so important. And I'm very, excited about being part of this cabinet and being part of this team, because at the end of the day, Canadians will have to make a choice. And I hope they make the choice of this government, because we're there for Canadians. We're there for the women's rights. We're there for LGBTQ rights. We're there for the minority rights. And we want to make sure that, yes, times are difficult, but I think this government's there to make sure that we support Canadians in difficult times. Well, again, I'll say congratulations on the new gig. And I just wonder, have any of your constituents expressed concern? Because it's a big job now. You already had a big job, and now you've added another huge job to what you were already doing. Any concern you might not have as much time to address your constituents' concerns in the riding?
I think people have to, the people in Marina listening to you right now have to know that first of all, I am the cabinet minister, but first of all, I am the MP for Hochelaga, and that's my first job. And I will not forget. I do not forget where I come from. My very humble family workers background, and I do not forget where I come from, which is the people that I'll show you that elected me, and they can be assured that for me, it's my first priority.
Well, very nice to meet you, Minister Soraya Martinez Ferrada. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.